Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Dr. Karoni and my friends. Today, my team and I will be presenting about one of the security threat that we face nowadays, and the security threat that we chose is denial of service attack. So, my name is Muhammad Dani Effendi. Beside me is Muhammad Haris, and next to him is Imran. So, next. So, what is DOS attack? DOS attack is a denial of service attack. It's a cyber attack in which the perpetrator seeks to make a machine or network resource unavailable temporarily or indefinitely, disrupting service of a host connected to the internet. The DOS attack typically uses one computer and one internet connection to flood a targeted system or resource. When a DOS attack uses multiple computers and internet connections to flood the targeted resource, it is called distributed denial of service attack, or better known as DDoS attack. This makes it impossible to stop the attack by blocking only a single source. So the picture next to this in the slide is an example of how the DDoS attack happen. It is using one computer to infect the other innocent computer to make it do DDoS attack without the owner of the innocent computer knowing. So next is the basic categories of DOS and DDoS attack. Category is volume-based attack. It uses high traffic to overload the network bandwidth. The second one is protocol attack. It focuses on exploiting the server resources. And the third one is application attack. It focuses on the web applications and are considered the most sophisticated and serious type of attacks. So next, why does DOS attack happen? There are a few reasons why DOS or DDoS attack happen. So the first reason is DOS or DDoS for ransom, which is the hacker will try to charge the website owner by doing a DOS attack on the website. So the next one is hacktivism. Hacktivism means that the hacker is trying to they deploy an attack to spread a message. This is usually connected to political views or ethical concerns. Next is user-friendly competition. So this is when there are many enterprises going to the internet. There are many enterprises already. So these enterprises has competitor, and to stop their competitor, they hire DDoS attack. And the last one is pure boredom. So this is when any tech-savvy teenagers or young adult want to do something when they are bored, and they just do the DOS attack, DOS attack. Okay, next, I will pass to my friend.
Okay, so let's talk about who the one that does DOS attack. So they are soft launched by attacker, which is we can also call them the cyber criminal. They're using one or more computer against a single or multiple computer or network. So in general, the attacker is a person or process that attempt to access the data, functions, or other restricted areas of the system without authorization, potentially with the malicious intent. So their motivation is diverse, which is ranging from the simple fun, which is they just do the hacking thing to for their pleasure, then to the financial gain and ideology such as the activism, as my friend just said before. So in this, they use a variety of method to launch a cyber attack, which is for example, like we are talking right now, which is the DOS and DDoS. Next. So let's proceed to the possible victim of DOS attack. So for this attack, it can happen to anyone that use the services on the internet or the network. So the victim of DOS attack often target the web server of high-profile organization such as the banking, the commerce, media companies, or government and trade organization. Though the DOS attack do not typically result of the thief or loss of significant information or other asset, they can cost the victim a great deal of time and money to handle the attack. So the DOS attack deprive legitimate users such as the employee, members, or account holder of the service and resource that they expected. This service affected may include email, website, the online account, and also the other service that rely on the affected computer or network. So the targeted victim cannot respond or simply crash, preventing access for legitimate user. So let's proceed to the next things, which is how to prevent the DOS attack.
So for the next, I'm going to present about that. So the first step that we can do is to develop a denial of service response plan. So this is based on the security assessment. So this method is basically depend on the size of the company. For example, like the larger the company, it may requires complex infrastructure and involving multiple teams in DOS planning. So this is because when the DOS attack happen, there is no time to think about the step. The only way is to provide a best step and plan in order to avoid any future impact. So next, so there are in this method there are several steps that can be done to develop a response plan. So the first is to do a system checklist where to develop a full list of assets that should be implemented to ensure the advanced threat identification, assessment, filtering tools, as well as the security and enhanced hardware and software level protection in the place. So the second is to form a response team where the key team member must ensure the responsibility is defined to organize the reaction to the attack when it happens. The third one is to define a notification and escalation procedure where to make sure the team members know exactly whom to contact in case the attack happen. The final plan is to include the list of the internal and external contact that should be informed about the attack that include the developed communication strategies with the customer, cloud service provider, and any security vendors. So next is how to prevent. The second step is to develop a leverage cloud. So there are the first advantage of doing the cloud is it has more bandwidth. The second is the cloud itself can diffuse resource. For example, like the cloud base can absorb the harmful or malicious traffic before it reach to the intended destination. So the third one is advantage of using cloud is it have the latest DOS tactic that can prevent the DOS attack from happen. So next is how to recover from DOS attack. So basically, I want to proceed about two steps, which is check and restart the firewall and the other appliances. So this is when the system back online. The amount of people that connect to the system is high. So basically, the only way that we can do is to restart the application and to have an orderly restoration. So the second one is application recovery. When the network is back online, thousands of connected sessions might happen. So to prevent this is we can simply meter the number of connections that can be established. So I think that's all for me. Next, I'll pass to my friend.
So my friend have already explained about how to prevent, how to recover, and what is DOS. So I will show you guys the example of attack of DOS that is famous. The first is from GitHub. From GitHub, you can see the graph below beside. There is 1.35 terabyte user trying to access. So there is traffic there, and then this case is happened on February 28, 2018, where the traffic level is much different between 1730 and before 1730. And second is on the Occupy Central Hong Kong, which 500 gigabyte per second, and happening in 2014. The third is Cloudflare, which 400 gigabyte per second in 2014. Spamhaus with 300 gigabyte per second in 2013. Even though Spamhaus known as anti-spam organization, but they are threatened and attacked with DDoS. And lastly is US Bank with 60 gigabyte per second in 2012. Next is where DOS come from. So the first ever DOS attack occurred in 1975, courtesy of David Danish, a 30-year student at University High School. David learned about Plato and he computerized systems as external or ST, and then one of the first large-scale DDoS attack occurred is in late of 1999 in August, where a hacker used a tool called Trinu to disable the University of Minnesota's computer network for more than 2 days. Trinu consisted of a network of compromised machines called master and daemons, allowing an attacker to send a DOS instruction to a few masters, which then forward instruction to the hundred of daemons to commence UDP floods against the target IP address. The tool made an effort to hide the daemons' IP addresses, so the owner of the attacking system were contacted and had no idea that their system had been compromised and were being used in a DDoS attacks. So guys, as a conclusion, a denial of services or DOS attack is used to tie up a website resources so that the user who need to access the site cannot do so. Many major companies such as GitHub, I already explained, have been focused on DOS attack because a DOS attack can be easily engineered from nearly any location. Finding those responsible can be extremely difficult. So we need to follow safety measure to prevent ourselves from being attacked by DOS or DDoS. Like our friend have been explained how to prevent, such as doing checklist, do the checklist, and then if you have been attacked, we need to recover it by application recovery, or you can do firewall recovery. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.